pull my face away from the slit in the wood, ready to comfort Fern. But I don't see a trace of the sorrow on her face I thought I heard in her voice. She motions for me to return my gaze outside. During our parade through town, we've attracted quite a crowd. The people in their plain linen clothes gawk at our procession, shock straining their pale faces as they witness the first public entertainment to enter Imperial City in over 10 years. As our caravan bumps through the streets, women grab their husbands' hands tighter. Guards in their shiny metal uniforms pretend not to stare as they herd people off the streets, and children weave in between the carts, playing a game of chicken with the horses' hooves. At a glance, the bright colors painted on our carriages make it seem like the show is meant for children. When I first saw them, I was reminded of the grandiose red and golden tops of the Wonder Emporium from my homeland. Behind those walls lie men who could swallow whole swords and women who rode elephants. But our carts depict what the gardener sells, his 13 dancing flowers, and we aren't meant for children's eyes. The paintings on the sides of our carts tantalize, each dress brighter than the last, accentuating the curves of our forms as we dance, forced to lose one petal at a time, exposing our souls. I twist my body so I can peek ahead. The ornate blue gate has been swung wide to let us pass unencumbered, and about 10 men flank it, their woven chain armor as silver as the walls they guard. My heart squeezes, and panic swells my veins. "Can you see the palace?" Fern asks, the familiar weight of her hand on my shoulder. Before I can answer, our cage jolts to a stop, and we fly off the bench, crashing in a pile of limbs. The splintered floor underneath the straw stings my knees. As I look up at Fern, I catch the thick scar twisting down her shoulder blade, a reminder of the first time I talked back to the gardener, and keep my discomfort silent. She catches me staring and playfully sticks her tongue out at me. I meet her gesture with a smile, like always. The word sorry hangs unspoken around us in the air. We both know that no matter how many times I say it, and no matter how many times she whispers that it isn't my fault, it won't change the fact that she suffers every time I make a wrong move. All the scars and bumps and cuts littering her body are because of me. Though I didn't wield the weapon or the fist, they always fall on her because of my imperfections. And yet, she still tries to make me smile. We remain motionless until sounds spill from the crack in our wooden cage. Men shouting orders, wood banging against the ground as cart doors are thrown open, and the shrill sound of giggling. All the noises feel so familiar, I can almost trick myself into forgetting that tonight we'll be performing at the first spring ceremony in 10 years since the border to the neighboring kingdom was shut down. My gut twists, thinking about what that day meant for me, and I push it from my mind. Fern's fingers pick through my hair, yanking out pieces of straw, while I crawl back toward the peephole. Every bit she drops to the floor will be one less she'll have to pluck later when helping me dress. "I lived here for 9 years, and I've never once seen the palace gates open," Fern says, longing coloring her voice. "I used to wonder what the inside looked like, how the cherry blossom trees were arranged, what their benches were made of." "Then you should look," I say, scooting out of her way. Fern peeks outside. As she does, a loud bang sounds to our left, and despite my best effort, excitement grows in my chest. My shackles won't be on for much longer. One of the gardener's lackeys has begun releasing us. They always start with Clover's cart at the front of the line, since her throwing knives aren't going to sharpen themselves. The heavy door at the back of the cage is yanked up, and we're temporarily blinded by sunlight, then ripped out onto the grass, torn from our cage and planted into the garden for a one-night show. And tonight's spectacle is the one our ringleader has been scheming since the idea of the garden developed in his head. The Emperor of Del Mar personally requested our show to entertain him and 100 of his highest-ranking soldiers, celebrating in the name of the Delmarian's earth goddess Lynn.